Hi guys, so I'm going to talk about the mass extinctions. Now they say that there's 6, but I like to say that there's 7 mass extinctions because of the Great Oxygenation Event, which people like to forget about, or they don't include it for whatever reason. But the Great Oxygenation Event happened when everything was still microscopic. And there were probably all sorts of microbial mats and everything, and life figured out how to make oxygen, and then everything died. Because oxygen is, it's what makes fire possible in our particular atmosphere. So after the Great Oxygenation Event, another one that's not really mentioned very often is the end Ediacaran extinction event, which gave rise to the Cambrian explosion. The next one we've got is the Cambrian extinction. The Cambrian extinction probably happened due to the invention of, I don't know, teeth? Probably wrong. I think it wasn't until the Devonian that teeth were invented. So during the Devonian was the first fishes, the age of the fishes, and the mass extinction was mainly because there was an ice age and there was a continent near the South Pole that sucked all of the water up onto it, and the inland seas all dried up, and a lot of the coastal seas also dried up. So the life, which was primarily aquatic at the time, really took a hit. Fortunately, this was the beginning of plant life as we know it. So we move into the Carboniferous after the Devonian. The Carboniferous, the extinction event of the Carboniferous, is called the Great Rainforest Collapse, which is really interesting. There was rainforests of scale trees back then, which were kind of like trees, but instead of bark, the way that, they still used lignin, but instead of bark, they had scales that grew on them, instead of the rings that we're familiar with our modern trees. And the scale trees, one of which is Archaeopteryx, not to be confused with Archaeopteryx, the very popular dinosaur. Archaeopteryx is an interesting specimen, and definitely look up Archaeopteryx if you feel like losing a bunch of time on Wikipedia. After the rainforest collapse, we've got the Permian, and the Permian extinction is the biggest extinction ever, other than what might be considered the next biggest extinction if we, the human race causes. Anyway, the Permian extinction happened because basically the entire continent of Siberia lit on fire underground, and so much stuff was pumped into the atmosphere that the oceans acidified, the atmosphere became toxic. 95% of the life on this planet died. It was the closest to an entire sterilization event that we've had, probably since the Hadean era. We almost became single cellular as a planet again, which most of Earth's history, a huge majority of Earth's history, is microscopic life exclusively. So we could have gone back to the dark ages after the Permian extinction. A few things held on: octopuses, jellyfish, bivalves, mollusks, mammals, reptiles, After the Permian extinction, dinosaurs were able to take over. And then, of course, the main extinction that you think of with dinosaurs is the KT, the end Cretaceous extinction. And the end Cretaceous extinction happened probably because of an asteroid impact. Something like 75% of life on Earth was wiped out. So these were all the main mass extinction events, not including the one that humans are currently causing. I really think that the extinctions in Earth's past are interesting. And if you guys want me to elaborate on any one extinction, let me know and I will talk about a different extinction for you. Thank you so much for your time. Stay safe out there, and I hope you enjoyed.